All right. Hello, Rachel.
Hello, thanks for having me today.
Of course. Thank you for being a part of the interview, and we're so excited to learn what you're all about and what you have to offer and like the tips and skills. So to start off, I want to read your bio and share with the world how amazing you are. So Rachel Adams is a realtor, public speaker, coach, author, and entrepreneur. She is 32 years old, living in Northern California, and is the CEO of 4 different companies. In just 3 years in the real estate industry, Rachel had hit the top 1,000 agents in the country for the Wallstreet Journal. On the outside looking in, her life was perfect. She had the perfect car, the perfect social life, and everything looked top notch. You could say she had the perfect Facebook life. But as we all know, reality isn't always what it seems. And then one conversation changed everything. Rachel decided to start leading her life with full authenticity and intention, and everything changed. She now travels around the United States teaching others and coaching in her life-changing book and program, Lost to Found in 90 Days. That is amazing. I want to know what is the conversation that changed everything?
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like for a lot of people, the outside looking in, we see these people in magazines or on, Facebook, and you think, oh my gosh, their life is so perfect. They have it all together. Their world is just smooth, right? Smooth sailing. And that was me. I mean, I was so intentional of what I put out there. And so I was 30 years old, and my company hears this young girl. She hit top 1,000 agents in the country in 3 years. We have to interview her. She has to tell all of our agents, how does she build her business and has a successful life? Because at the time, I'm literally traveling all around the U.S. coaching people on how to build a business and work on their mindset. But what people don't know is that in those 3 years it took me to hit top 1,000, I am, I gained about 30 pounds. I got a divorce that I never dealt with. And I put everybody else's needs in front of my own. From the outside looking in, life's perfect, but that's because that's what I chose to put out there. So I got sent to Keller Williams, to Texas, to corporate to shoot this commercial. And all I know is that I'm shooting a commercial with Nina Rowan Heller, and she's a international health and wellness coach. She coached Matthew McConaughey and the founders of Microsoft.
Yeah.
So I go to Nordstrom, get a new dress, get my hair and makeup done, and I am wearing like the most serious pair of Spanx you can find. Pack it all in. And I go and I sit down with her. And I mean, I literally am used to interviews all the time. So they ask me a question. I'm like, well, I did this and I did this. And we're talking and she's interviewing me, and the lights are on, and she's like, and how did that make you feel? And I'm like, feel? I mean, bumps and bruises, but you do what you do, like high-pitched voice. And then we keep talking, and she's like, and how did that make you feel? And I'm like, what the heck? Like, usually people are just like, tell me about you, And then she took a deep breath, and she looks at the camera crew, and she's like, guys, I'm going to need you to step outside for a second. And I'm like, what is going on? And they walk outside, and she takes my hands in hers, and she said, Rachel, have you ever heard that your video isn't matching your audio? And I was like, what? And she's like, your video is not matching your audio. What you say you're doing, I don't know if you're actually doing. And she said, sweetie, what's really going on here? And it was like, wow. I feel like it's one thing to be honest right now with with other people, but it's totally another to be honest with yourself. And I just burst into tears, and I just makeup's like streaming down my face. And I'm like, you know what, Nina, I got a divorce and I've never dealt with it. And I work so hard for this image of perfection, but I don't even know what it is. And I'm exhausted. And instead of doing the interview, we had a 2-hour conversation about what my life could look like if I was leading my life with authenticity and intention. And it was the most powerful conversation I ever had. I was honest with myself about things that I was shoving down for years. And she ended up sending me home. I never got to shoot the commercial. I cried for like 2 days. I was super embarrassed. But, at the time I had like maybe 20,000 followers already on Facebook. And I realized that like I have an opportunity here, and people follow me and are listening to me and coaching with me, and they deserve for me to be honest with them.
Yeah.
So I decided for 90 days, I'm going to commit to leading my life with authenticity and intention. I'm going to look at who I surround myself with, the conversations I'm having, like what I want my life to look like. How am I leading my life? And I realized I had some things holding me back from being the best version of myself. And so for 90 days, I commit to this total transformation of how I'm leading my life. Invited everybody on Facebook along with me, and ended up just so many things. My whole world changed, and it later on, my story became what it is now, which is a book and a program and an app and website, t-shirts, and we're on Fox.
Yes.
And it's like, it's just, holy moly, it's been a wild ride.
I'm sure you have to like pinch yourself some days, and you're like, is this real?
And most thing to pinch myself about is that this puppy right here, I just got engaged.
I know. Believe me, I see it. I'm sure everybody will see it.
I know. It's like, I think people do it the wrong way. They're like, I'm going to date, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to start a new hobby, I'm going to do all these things to attract the right person. And reality is, when you're actually leading your life with authenticity and intention, and you're being who you're meant to be, you attract that right person, because that's who they're supposed to be with, not this person you're trying to be for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. It's like being yourself and everything. I want to know, like, what is, you have 4 different companies, like, what is your passion? What is your why? Like, when there's days, I'm sure you're just exhausted, or you don't want to like get up. I'd love to know, like, what motivates you.
Yeah. I think ultimately it's, I want to inspire people to lead their best life. Being in the marriage that I was in before, it was very unhealthy, and there's a lot of like self-doubt and stuff that comes along with that. And we were really financially struggling. Like, people say they're paycheck to paycheck. I'm paycheck behind a paycheck at the time. Literally looking up YouTube videos on how to siphon gas from a motorcycle to get to a car so I could get to a showing, like crying on my garage floor, like true story.
Oh my God.
And so, coming from that to where I am now, it's like, I'm committed to financial freedom. I'm committed to building a business that leads a legacy. I want to inspire people to lead their best life. And then ultimately, I want to fulfill the biggest honor, which for me is getting to be a wife and a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so powerful. What do you like recommend for people just getting started, for me, for just everyone who's starting their business? I think as not only as an entrepreneur, but also as like a female entrepreneur. And I would like, for all the female entrepreneurs out there, because there's so many like successful men, and that's amazing. But I think it's just a little bit more different for like women. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. And, I think there's a little bit of like limiting belief. Sometimes we're like, well, I'm a woman, I don't know if I can do it. Or there's so many men that are in the leadership roles. And I'm like, heck with that. Like, they need to know who the heck we are and what we're doing. Right. I mean, I'm 5 feet tall. Like, I'm a tiny little tot, but I'm like, no, I'm powerful. Right?
Yeah.
With a punch. I think it's really important to know where you want to go, but also realize where you're at right now. And I want to share with you something called the self-image exercise. And I can show it to you. I actually have, with my fancy lighting too, but up on my wall, I have mine's framed. And what it is it's an exercise you do. And you are going to play like some like Bach and Beethoven, right? You're going to have some like amazing music playing. And just close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, I want you to think, 5 years from now, what does my life look like? Where am I living? Who am I surrounding myself with? What conversations am I having? What are my relationships look like? How old are my kids? Do I have kids? Where am I living? What does that house look like? What car am I driving? Where am I going on vacation? What charities am I donating to? How much money is in my bank account? Right? So you have this powerful visualization exercise, and then you get very, very specific, and you say, okay, 5 years from now, it's a work day. what time do I wake up? Do I wake up to an alarm or do I wake up on my own? I turn over. Do I kiss my spouse? Do I have a spouse? The kids run into the room. Do I have kids? Do they wake me up? And then my 2 feet hit the carpet. How do the fibers feel underneath my feet? You know, I get in the shower and I feel the heat and I feel the water beating on my back. What does that feel like? I walk down the stairs to my living room and what scene greets me? Is it kids with pancakes, you know, in the morning? Yeah. And like I go out to my car and what car am I driving? What color is the leather? I walk out to my office, glass boardroom, you know, whatever that is, coffee hands you your favorite, or assistant hands you your favorite coffee. Like, you picture what your perfect day looks like, a work day. So you know what it looks like. And then you open your eyes and you take that visualization that you just did and you put it on paper and you write it all out. Everything you just saw, specific details, how the fibers felt under your feet, right?
Wow.
And and then you have to ask yourself some difficult questions. Is everybody in your life conducive to getting you where you want to go? The 5-year you, where are you right now? Who do you need to remove from your life? Who do you need to add into your life? What do you need to do to get to become that person? You know, when I first got into real estate, I had not had a single transaction behind me. I didn't have a sphere of influence or a database. But what I did realize is that if I wanted to be a top producer, then I had to act like a top producer and speak like a top producer and do the things a top producer would do. And it was almost like I didn't need to reinvent the wheel. I just needed to hop on. And so I committed to finding people. And as women, we need to find people that are leading our life at a high level. So whatever you want to do in your life, you find someone who's already doing it at a very high level, and don't be afraid to reach really big. Like if someone's like a multimillionaire and they've got 50 rental properties and 15 vacation houses, if that's what you want, then that's what you model. That's what you go after. And I will tell you, like my self-image exercise, I did it 5 years ago. At the time, I'm in an unhealthy marriage, and I had said on there, my husband sends me cute text messages throughout the day. You know, I go out to lunch with my girlfriends, and it was like, what does my day look like? And I will tell you that who I am right now, I am living that life, with the exception of a daily blowout in a rotating shoe closet. Like I'm that girl. And that's why I put it up there, because it's so powerful to me, because it was making one good decision. And when you make one good decision, then you make another good decision and another good decision and another good decision. And before you know it, you are changing the way you're leading your life.
Oh my gosh. So since you started, who shared that exercise with you, or is that?
It was in a class called Bold. It's a class that Keller Williams teaches. It's a sales.
Oh, okay.
But it's very much about personal development. And it was a big deal for me. And you have to remember, like, when I read that, or when I wrote that, and he was like, is everyone conducive in your life? I was like, oh my God, I'm married to the wrong person.
Wow.
Now, it still took me like 2 years to leave, but it was like that moment of, okay, there's something more here.
And what words of advice would you like tell your younger self? I don't know, like, yeah, just, I would say like teens or like 20s, I don't know, just younger self in general.
You know, I think you need to be aware of who you're surrounding yourself with. Jim Rohn has a quote that I love, that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around. And so if you're really committed to leading your life at a high level, then you need to watch who is your main 5 people who you surround yourself with. Because if you're the average of the 5, and one of your friends is out there doing drugs or stealing, or, you know, like you want to get healthy and your friend's always eating potato chips and drinking beer or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that the best person to surround yourself with?
Yeah, you need to be careful. Yeah.
So just be aware of who you surround yourself with and the conversations you allow. I think when you start, I mean, you know this too, when you start to want to lead this really big life and you're super motivated and positive, like not everyone in your life is like, good for you. You're like, what the heck are you doing? Like, stop it and just come over and hang out. And you just, if you're really intentional, you've got to say, you know what, like, and what I would encourage people to do if they are deciding they want to make a shift in their life, sit down with the people you love. So like Raina, if you and I were going to sit down and you're one of my good friends, and I don't know if you're going to support me or not, I'm going to sit down with you. I'm going to say, Raina, I'm so excited. I'm going on this new journey, and I'm so excited to include you because I know you love me and you care about me and you want me happy, and your opinion means a lot to me. So I just wanted to share this awesome thing that I'm doing, and heck, if you like it, like come along with me. And that way I'm excited. I'm sharing it. Not like, listen, I'm going to do this. You probably aren't going to like it. You might think it's weird. None of that. Like you set the expectation for what you want the outcome to be. So I'm so excited that you're going to support me in this. I know you love me. I know you care about me. And then you do support. And if you choose to not participate, that's okay. The right people are going to come into your life, Raina, and the right people are also going to leave. People think it's the wrong people leave. It's not. It's the right people.
Yeah. Who are your influencers? Like when you need help, where do you go to? Who do you talk to? I'd love to know. Yeah.
Yeah. I have, so I think that some of the interesting thing is some of my mentors, I don't even like know in person, I mean, I met Oprah one time and she's a huge mentor of mine. I have a picture of us on Facebook. So it's real.
Facebook official.
She's a huge mentor of mine. I mean, Jim Rohn, obviously I never met him, but he has some amazing quotes that just really speak to me. I have a couple girlfriends in real estate that, I'm not a mom yet, but that's the next stage for me.
Yeah.
And so I look up to women that are leading successful businesses at a really high level, but they put their family as their first priority. I'm not going to look at people who are huge, successful multimillionaires, but have unhealthy marriages.
Yeah.
That's not my priority. So again, I look up to people that are leading their life at a high level that I want to match that,
Yeah.
And I have a business coach. Who helps me in real estate. My next step is to have a social media coach, not to help me with Facebook or anything, but having the 4 companies that I have, like I have careers that pays my bills and then things I'm passionate about differently. And so it's, for me, like full transparency right now, it's like next year, 2017, I'm like, what exactly should I be focusing on? Like what is my main passions? Because real estate's an amazing vehicle. And I've realized that I don't necessarily want to be the person sitting down to help someone buy or sell a house, but I want to have my real estate agents achieving their goals and feeding their families and buying rental properties. And so if I can teach them how to do what I do, well, instead of me helping one family at a time, we can help 10 houses at a time with 10 agents, Yeah,
it's perfect. I love that. I know a big thing when I heard you speak at the One Life Fully Lived conference, you're so great. And one thing you really touched upon was the personal and professional boundaries. Like, I know that's big, and especially like someone starting off, like they're, with experience, like what do you have to share? What advice do you have to share with that?
Well, I think that a lot of times, your business can run you versus you running your business. And I know in real estate, at least, especially when I first started, like I am hungry. So I'm like physically I'm hungry and bank account I'm hungry. So I was like, I will take any call from anyone, anytime. And I will tell you that when I met Ryan and we got together, I realized that it's the first time in my life that a personal relationship matters to me more than business. And, you teach people how to treat you. And so what would happen, for example, is I would sit down with my clients and I'd say, I'm available from 8 a.m. till 7 o'clock at night. And if it's after 7 o'clock, if it's an emergency, absolutely call me. If not, just, send me a text message and I'll get back to you the next business day. But, Raina, say you're buying a house and you have your portal set up for you and you're sitting on your couch and you popped open a bottle of wine and you're looking through houses and you see one and you're like, oh my God, I have to text Rachel. Well, if you text or call me at 9:30 at night and I told you I'm available till 7:30, but I respond to you, I've now set my new boundary at 9:30. So it's like, how can I expect you to respect my boundaries if I don't respect them, So for me, it was just being really clear on what my boundaries are. And then I don't make it about myself. I make it about you. So I'm like, Raina, what time can I reach out to you until? And what's the best way to contact you? Okay, perfect. So those are what for you. And now this is it for me. So I make it about you and then I'm just reciprocating.
Yeah. That's a great example. And it's very specific. It's very simple. Like,
I like simple. I complicated, I'm lost. Like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I want to know, like, the last question, what is your morning routine? Like, I want you to be specific. Like, obviously you wake up very motivated and like what, so what do you do? What time do you wake up and things like that?
Well, my morning routine actually starts the night before. So for me, I will always try and get 8 hours. Sometimes I have, life shows up and I get like 5.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found is it's about setting your mind right and your intentions the night before. So say I'm going to go to bed and I only have 5 hours to sleep. If I go to bed and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. It's going to suck. I'm going to wake up and need coffee at 4 p.m. Well, I wake up, my day sucks, and I need coffee at 4 p.m. So what if I say, okay, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to have the most beautiful, restful 5 hours of sleep. And when I wake up, I'm going to feel refreshed and have an amazing day. Well, that's what happens. And then, I have a rule that before my 2 feet hit the floor, I drink a glass of water. Because most people, the first thing they put in their body, it's coffee. And your body naturally dehydrates as you sleep. So the night before, I put a glass of water by my bed. So I wake up in the morning, I chug my glass of water, I look over at Ryan, and we say 3 things we're grateful for. It's just a really beautiful way to start the day, right? Yeah. So we lean over, and sometimes we're grateful for a good night's sleep. Sometimes we're grateful that we got through a difficult conversation the night before, relationships, stuff comes up sometimes. So we say 3 things we're grateful for. My 2 feet hit the floor, and sometimes I'll go for a big workout, but to be honest with you, my workout routine is I will drop to the ground and I do 20 push-ups, real guy push-ups. So 20 push-ups, I'll do 20 squats, and then I do a little ab routine. And actually, if you want to go on my YouTube channel, it's Rachel Adams Realtor. You can see, I'd show you my actual workout routine.
Okay, perfect.
And then I get up, I jump in the shower, and I make a healthy breakfast. I used to journal in the morning and read positive affirmations. I did the full miracle morning. And I realized that a powerful morning routine for me is waking up with gratitude, drinking water, quick little exercise, and then a healthy breakfast. Okay. And for me, that's really what I do. And my breakfast, I have a little bit of a different rule for food, because before I did Lost to Found, I was 162 pounds, and I'm only 5 feet tall. So I grow this
oh no,
way, not this way.
Yes.
What happened is my rule is I do breakfast like a queen, so big breakfast, lunch like a princess, and then dinner like a pauper. So I'm the opposite of what most people do. I eat my smallest meal in the evening, and I was able to lose 32 pounds, and I feel ever. It's the first time I haven't dieted. The whole program, if you want to check it out, you can go to www.losttofound90.com, and it's the number 2 and the number 90. Yeah. Or even if you want to get to know what my real estate coaching business, I have a webinar series, or just check out my YouTube, my Facebook, all of it's in one place at racheladamsinspire.com. Then you can check it all out.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm going to recommend that. It's going to be up on the blog, and also, and sharing it and everything. I'd appreciate if you can share, this interview as well.
Of course I will. And thank you so much. I'm so proud of all you're doing. You're people, and you're just you're a game changer. And that's really what you are. So I'm super proud of you.
Thank you. I know this won't be the last time we talk. We'll definitely keep in touch.
The beginning of a beautiful relationship.
Yes. Well, bye. Thank you. Have a great day.